Hey everyone, Mushoku Tensei is an isekai anime and light novel series following the life of Rudeus Greyrat, a man reincarnated into a fantasy world. Today we'll explain the family tree of Rudeus Greyrat. I like to call these types of videos my big project videos. They are the ones I spend a lot of time on, and I've put all of them together in a special playlist on the channel. At the beginning of each one, I usually take a few seconds to explain what the video is going to cover, especially for those who are worried about spoilers. Like always, I'll be drawing out the characters all the way up to the most recent events in the anime, and any connections that I feel can be counted as somewhat of a major spoiler, I save them for the end of the video. I'll give a clear spoiler warning before that section begins. Rudeus Greyrat is the main character. In his past life, he was a shut-in. After dying, he reincarnates in a fantasy world with all his memories intact. He's born into the Greyrat family, but let's go back a couple of decades ago. So basically, the current generation of the Greyrat family traces back to the father of Sauros Boreas Greyrat. He had two children, a son and a daughter. The son is Sauros and the daughter is Valentine. Now, this is where things start getting interesting. You'll see just how interconnected the characters are, which I think is one of Mushoku Tensei's strongest points. Valentine becomes part of the Notos branch after marrying Amaranth Notos Greyrat. She suffered from a disease that left her with a weak body throughout her life. Together, they had two children, Paul and Philemon. Paul was constantly clashing with his father, and those arguments eventually pushed him to give up his noble status and choose the path of an adventurer instead. Paul will eventually move on to marry Zenith, the child of Claire and Carlette. Claire, Zenith's mother, is a stern noblewoman from the holy country of Milis. Known for her rigid traditions, she together with her husband had multiple children and didn't want any of them to become adventurers, and both of her daughters did, to her disappointment. Moving on, Paul with Zenith eventually settled down and had a child they called Rudeus, who proved very talented in magic and could cast magic without incantations, which only a handful of people could do in the world. But the Greyrat family isn't limited to just Paul, Zenith, and Rudeus. There was a maid working for them named Lilia, the daughter of Augusta and Flute. Augusta is an advanced water god style instructor, a martial artist with connections to none other than water god Rhea, a major figure in the world of swordsmanship. Paul ends up having an affair with Lilia. This causes serious tensions within the household. Lilia becomes pregnant and gives birth to Aisha Greyrat, Rudeus's half-sister. Surprisingly, it's Rudeus who convinces Zenith to forgive Lilia, allowing her and Aisha to stay with the family. At the same time that Lilia was pregnant with Aisha, Zenith was also pregnant with her second child, Norn. Unlike Aisha, who's short and quick-witted like her mother Lilia, Norn inherits more of Paul's personality, stubborn, emotional, and prideful. Her relationship with Rudeus is rocky at best. However, as time moves on, they eventually make up. Now let's go back up for a second and talk about Paul's brother, Philemon. He is the father of Luke Notos Greyrat. He served as the head of the Notos family until he was eventually replaced by his son Luke under the authority of Princess Ariel. His son Luke Notos Greyrat is Rudeus's cousin. He serves as Princess Ariel's personal knight alongside the court mage Fitz. Now let's shift to the Boreas branch of the Greyrat family. Sauros Boreas Greyrat had multiple children. At the top is James Boreas Greyrat, who became head of the Boreas family after a contest between Sauros's sons. He served as a cabinet minister in the Asura Kingdom and later became lord of the Fittua region after Sauros's death. One of the brothers James outmaneuvered is Gordon Boreas Greyrat, who marries into the Eurus family. This removed him from the line of succession due to James's political manipulation. Then there's Philip Boreas Greyrat, Eris's father and the cousin of Paul. After losing the fight to become head of the family and following tradition, his two sons were taken away to be raised by James. Philip is married to Hilda, a noble woman who struggled with losing her sons to tradition. Her mental state only stabilized when Eris was born, but she later broke down again after their second son, just 2 years younger than Eris, was also taken away. Now let's shift our focus for just a couple of seconds and you'll see exactly where I'm going with this in just a bit. Elinalise Dragonroad was once a companion of Paul Greyrat. She's an elf cursed with an affliction that forces her to have regular intercourse to stay healthy. After the teleport incident, she worked with Roxy to find Rudeus's missing family, eventually joining Rudeus at the Ranoa Magic Academy. It's there that she falls in love with Clive, who tries to develop a cure for her condition. Before all that, Elinalise had a son, Laz, a hunter from Buena village. He lived a quiet life and eventually became the father of Sylphiette. Sylphiette Greyrat is Rudeus's childhood friend, born of human, elf and beast race blood. After the teleport incident, a surge of mana causes her hair to turn white and she takes on a new identity. Fitz, the quiet but powerful bodyguard of Princess Ariel. As time goes on, Rudeus eventually marries Sylphie. The two have known each other since childhood, and after being separated for years, and with Sylphie being able to cure him, he decides to marry her. And when Sylphie becomes pregnant, Rudeus tries to do everything he can to support her. On the other hand, we have Roxy. She helped carry him through one of the hardest times of his life. Eventually, Rudeus and Roxy also get married. From his marriage with Sylphiette, they have their first child, Lucy Greyrat. From his second marriage with Roxy, they have their second child, Lara Greyrat. Eris Boreas Greyrat is the daughter of Philip and Hilda. Eris is known for his strong will, exceptional sword skills and fiery personality. She is a cousin of Rudeus, and despite their rocky start, they grow closer over time. Eris also marries Rudeus. Together they have a son named Arus, who is Rudeus's third child and first son. Sieghart Saladin Greyrat is the fourth child of Rudeus and Sylphiette. He is their second son, younger brother to Lucy and half-brother to Lara and Arus. Lily Greyrat is the fifth child of Rudeus and the third daughter. She is the second daughter with Roxy, younger sister to Lara, younger half-sister to Lucy, Arus, and Sieghart. Christina Greyrat is the sixth child of Rudeus and the youngest daughter. She is the youngest child of Rudeus's marriage with Eris and the youngest half-sister to Lucy, Lara, Sieghart, Arus, and Lily. Leroy Greyrat is the son of Arus Greyrat and Aisha. Their relationship was first opposed by the rest of the Greyrat family, but when Aisha became pregnant, Rudeus eventually accepted them. Clive Grimoire and Elinalise Dragonroad also have a child together. His name is Clive Grimoire. Clive grows up and eventually marries Lucy Greyrat, the first daughter of Rudeus and Sylphiette. Roger Superdia, the proud warrior of the Superd race, eventually has a child with Norn Greyrat, Rudeus's blood-related sister. Together, they have a daughter named Luicelia. And Ferris Greyrat is the granddaughter of Arus and the great-granddaughter of Rudeus. These are the main relationships of the Greyrat family and Rudeus's family tree. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.